Hi, I'm Amy.
I'm Laura.
And we are TwoPaperGirls.
Today we're doing our March wrap up. If you saw our March TBR, I think we had high hopes for March. We were going to read so much. Didn't really happen. Turned out to be a surprisingly busy month. Like, we had coursework and we've both been gallivanting around the country doing different things. Sounds more exciting than it was. Amy's was exciting. She went to London. I just kind of... Well, where did I go? Oh, I've been Cambridge and Leicester like normal. But anyway, yes, our wrap up isn't that great.
I read 3 things, and one of those is a graphic novel, which I'm quite excited about. And Laura read 2 things, which kind of read a bit of a big amount in like a wide variety. Not a big amount, a small amount, but a variety. We're going on a bit of a tangent today.
Yeah.
This is a daydreamy wrap up of joy.
Dawn recently did a blog post about how, like, you shouldn't feel bad about being slumpy. Sometimes other life stuff just gets in the way, and I think that's kind of just what happened this month. Just telly and life and uni happened. But anyway, let's show you the books that we read this month.
Or not show you in my case, because 2 of the books that I read are still at university. The first one was Second Class Citizen by Bucci Emecheta, and I read this on my modern and contemporary course, and I really enjoyed this. It's about a woman called Ada who's from a Nigerian tribe, and she comes to London, and she's a second-class citizen because she is both black and a woman, and in the 1960s that is not what you want to be, but she is powerful. She is just like wanting to be a librarian, and she gets there, but no one wants to rent their house to her, and her husband is abusive, and it is so sad. You feel for Ada, and I loved it quite a lot actually. I think I gave it 4 stars. It's one of the most enjoyable books on the course that I've read this year.
I hope to read a lot of plays for my Shakespeare on the Stage module this month, but it just didn't happen. I don't know why. They were just in the back of my mind, so you'll see them in my April TBR. But I did manage one, and that is The Duchess of Malfi by John Webster. And I think the only reason I got around to this is I went to a screening of the play and read along with it. And that kind of made me actually read it. But this is actually a really good play. It's very dark and strange. It's not really what you expect from like Shakespearean drama. There's like a lot of mental illness and madness, like this guy thinks he's a wolf at the end, and some productions think he's crazy and some productions do it so that he is a wolf. It's very bloody and gory and gross with like fake dead children, and yeah, it's just really gross, but it's actually enjoyable. It's got quite a few important messages that I cannot remember right now because I'm tired and it's Easter, so I'm not really thinking about university, but I would definitely recommend this if you want to read around Shakespeare's time.
The second thing I read in March was Not a Drop to Drink by the person that wrote Not a Drop to Drink. This was alright, I guess. It took me too long to read because I was not slumping, but life got in the way again. So it took a long time to read, but the ending really redeemed it. I mean, I love the start and I love the end. The middle was just a bit boring. It's about a dystopian where there's no water and a girl called Lynn has to guard her lake, and it's a really good read, and I like the sparse language in it, and the ending was traumatising. It was written really well and I really enjoyed it. I think it just had a few problems with pacing issues, but I didn't love it quite as much as Second Class Citizen, so it gets 3.5 stars.
And the second and last thing I read this month was A Dark Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. If you've been watching our channel for a while, you'll know I've been going on about this book for a good year of saying every month's TBR, this month I really want to get around to A Dark Shade of Magic because I think I'm going to love it. It took me a year because I remember I got it for my birthday last February, so it took me a whole year to read this book. And I just decided to finally pick it up, and I felt motivated because I bought the audiobook for it as well. So I listened along while I was getting on with life things, which really helped me get into it. But the last 150 pages I read properly, partly in a rush to finish it for this wrap up, so I was less embarrassed. But also it got really, really exciting. I gave this 4.5 stars. I took off a half a star because it was quite slow. It's quite long really, it's nearly 400 pages. So there wasn't much action, and because I read it so slowly, it took me all month, that kind of made me a little bit bored with it sometimes, but I love the characters in it. They're all really diverse and well done and amazing. And I wasn't a big fan of Lila, but I realised that's the audiobook's problem. So So I was quite annoyed with her because the narrator of the audiobook did her voice all cockney and annoying, but when I read it myself, I didn't read it that way. And she's much more likeable. So yeah, this world is amazing. This book was a bit slow because it set it all up, but I can't wait for the sequel because you'll know all the goings on and just jump straight into it. And yeah, it was really, really good.
And the last thing I read in March was Outcast by Robert Kirkman, and as a setter, I don't know who that is. Robert Kirkman's a guy who did Walking Dead, and I saw this, and it was the first one. It was volumes 1 and 2, issues 1 and 2 in the graphic novel shop, and I thought, ooh, new Robert Kirkman stuff. And it's about a guy who is an outcast. His wife's left him because he used to beat her up, but that's because she was possessed by demons. Yeah, this is about like possession and like a demonic figure, and I didn't really like it. But it's Kirkman, it's going to get better. I realised that I watched the series before I read the Walking Dead graphic novels, and I think his drawing style and the characters, I think you connect with more if you've seen them on telly first. That's just me. That's how I connect with people. And there is a series coming out for this. I'm going to watch that and hopefully carry on with this series and it'll pick up. And I give it 3 stars.
So that's it for our very sparse wrap up. I'm not going to say April's going to be better because who knows. April's probably going to be really busy as well because we've got holidays and coursework and Amy's birthday. So we'll just see. But anyway, if we have a shorter wrap up, it means we can talk more about the books without it being 10 minutes long. So hopefully it's not too much of a bad thing.
We hope you have a better month than we are probably going to in April. Sorry to be a bit pessimistic. We hope you had a great Easter and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. The second thing that I read in March.
And irritating, but when I...
Oh.
Not being pessimistic, being realistic.